I want to start with this quote from Viktor Frankl. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. These are the sources that have helped me to prepare my speech. I want to talk about the experience of my dad passing away and 3 things that I have learned from this experience, which is 1, to never take anything for granted, 2, family is important in all aspects of your life, and 3, things will always look up as long as you push forward. This is a quote by Dan Millman. If you don't get what you want, you suffer. If you get what you don't want, you suffer. Even when you get exactly what you want, you still suffer, because you can't hold on to it forever. Your mind is your predicament. It wants to be free of change, free of pain, free of obligations of life and death. But change is a law, and no amount of pretending will alter that reality. When my father passed away, it was really devastating, but I learned that I should never take anything for granted. Before my dad passed away, I never really appreciated all the things he did for me. I never even thought about simple things like paying for my school and taking care of me and giving me a really good life. I really learned to love and cherish the simple and easy things of life. My dad passing away was not the end of huge change. I had to move to an apartment and we left everything my parents have worked so hard to get because we didn't know if we could afford it anymore. Materialistic things were not significant, and I learned to be happy with what we had. My whole life was downscaled, and I realized that I completely took for what I had before for granted. This is a quote by Aldous Leonard. Most human beings have an infinite capacity for taking things for granted. This quote to me is very true, and it is most of the time true that the people we love the most are the ones that are taken most for granted, because we know that they will always love us unconditionally. But what we should all realize is that we shouldn't take them for granted, because one day you may be left without them and you'll realize that they were not as appreciated as much as they should have been. Although the experience of my dad passing away was very sad, I realized that it has also opened our family's eyes to the reality that things can change very quickly, and we should take it as a lesson to better ourselves. Losing my father when I was 14 has taught me that family is very important in all aspects of your life. In a study about the presence of parents in a child's life, it is said that a child that loses a parent is deprived of the love, support, nurturing, values, information, and discipline that they need. They found that children with deceased fathers are more likely to drop out of school. My life fell apart after I felt the trauma and pain of losing someone I was so close to. After all, you only have 2 parents, and losing one is like losing half of you. I lost interest in school and didn't really care about my life. I grew past that and my life is where it needs to be, but I always knew how hard it was without my father there to support me. My younger sister, who is 10 years younger than me, took my dad's death in a different way. She didn't really understand where he had gone because she was so young, but I watched the effect it had on her. My mom is a good mom, and my sister does really well in school, but I noticed that she really didn't care about things in her life as much. Situations that should have been taken seriously were just taken more as casual. She has my stepdad now, and I've realized how much she really needed that father figure in her life. Although it would never be the same as my real father, she has a functional family that she can grow up with. The family is one of nature's masterpieces. That's a quote by George Santayana. The pain for my father's death was overwhelming, but it helped me to understand that family is truly important in everything you do. And through everything, they will love you and help you grow even when your world falls down. Even when my heart was breaking, watching my family so torn apart, I tried to stay strong. It was so hard to believe that things could get better when I've had so much taken from me. It was like rain that would never stop raining no matter how bad I wanted to see the sunlight. But I soon realized that As long as I kept pushing forward, things would look up for me. It does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop. That is a quote by Confucius. It took me a while to look at the things ahead of me and to step forward, but as I wielded the strength to, it only brought me to better things. I became conscious of the life that I could have. I realized that my dad was just an obstacle, and even though he wasn't there anymore, I could remember all the things he's taught me to push me forward. My life changed again, and we moved back to a house, and my mom was running a successful business. All the things we thought would be gone only gave us the strength to make something of it ourselves. As you can probably see, this experience was really tough on me, but it has made me who I am today, and I am glad that it has made me a stronger and better person. Through my sad experience, I have learned 3 very important lessons. 1, to never take anything for granted. Sorry. 2, family is important in your life. And 3, things will always look up as long as you push forward. I wanted to end with this quote. The most authentic thing about us is our capacity to create, to overcome, to endure, to transform, to love, and to be greater than our suffering. And this quote's by Ben Okri.